Welcome to Macbeth Reimagined 7 Olympians, 7 Themes. The purpose of my presentation is to reveal how the themes of Macbeth, such as ambition, chaos and disorder, gender roles, violence, loyalty and betrayal, guilt, and power and corruption, are all demonstrated in the lives of famous Olympians, showing how Shakespearean concepts are tied to Olympic athletes and what they have represented over the years, for good and for bad. Some of the Olympians I'm going to talk about show certain positive traits, similar to characters in Macbeth, while others have shown their true colors and ended up in bad situations, much like some of the darker characters in Shakespeare's famous play. Ambition is clearly the desire to achieve greatness. Sometimes ambition is achieved through setting goals, putting in the effort, and recognizing success. Other times, ambition is achieved in unethical or ruthless ways. Oftentimes, ambitious achievements are not even seen as enough. As Macbeth said, "To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus." Macbeth realized that being king was not enough. He needed to feel safe in his role as king. He realized that attaining the role as king and having the crown is not the same as having true power or peace of mind. Usain Bolt, a sprinter from Jamaica, is notably an ambitious man who reached Olympic athlete status. Bolt won 8 Olympic gold medals in his career. However, like Macbeth, Bolt did not feel that it was enough to just seek Olympic victories. More importantly, Usain Bolt strove to be recognized and safely secured as the fastest man on the planet. With a record-holding speed of 9.58 seconds and 100 meters, Usain Bolt is safely secured as registering a historic achievement, possibly one that may never be broken. Take a look at Bolt's Olympic record-breaking speed in London 2012. This video is attached here in my presentation.
Set.
Oh, they're away, and Gatlin got away brilliantly, and he's ahead of the field at the moment, and Bolt going very, and here comes Usain Bolt! Usain Bolt storming through, he takes it again, Blake gets the silver, 9.64! Oh, he's retained his title in the most emphatic way. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Usain Bolt of Jamaica is the fastest man on the planet. 9.63, a superb demonstration of power sprinting. What a performance that was. Gatlin attacked early, but Bolt got into his running, really. It was an unbelievable run, and Blake, I think, got the silver, he did, and Gatlin got...
Chaos and disorder is a significant theme demonstrated throughout Macbeth. The 3 witches in Macbeth notably caused so much chaos and disorder throughout the play. They exhibited sinister and deceptive tactics, manipulating situations that caused widespread turmoil throughout Scotland. This is no more apparent than in their dealings with Macbeth. Their prophecies to Macbeth caused a great deal of confusion and misinterpretation, leading Macbeth to make decisions that ultimately spiraled into chaos. Ryan Lochte, an Olympic swimmer, is well recognized for his Olympic medal success. However, he is also known for what has been called the Lochte Gate scandal. At the Rio de Janeiro Olympics in 2016, Lochte caused quite the controversy when he and other swimmers falsely reported being robbed at gunpoint when in reality they had vandalized a gas station. Lochte's story was so misleading, yet believable at first. It manipulated the media and public perception, much like the witches' prophecies manipulated Macbeth's choices. And when the truth came out, Lochte's lies created a media frenzy and public relations meltdown. He caused embarrassment, tarnishing reputations and the image of American athletes. As a consequence of all his chaos and disorder, Lochte's version of the truth didn't just hurt him, it caused problems for everyone. This is similar to how the witches' manipulative ways created murder and mayhem across Scotland. Serena Williams, Grand Slam winner and Olympic tennis star, was and is still known for bending traditional gender roles. Williams has from the very start played tennis with power, speed, and confidence. This style of play broke the idea that women in tennis had to be graceful or delicate. She destroyed stereotypes about femininity in sports and has embraced the power and athleticism typically associated with male athletes. Lady Macbeth also went against the usual rules for women in her time. She even wished for supernatural spirits to unsex her so she could stop being like a typical woman and be stronger in order to do what it would take to succeed in helping Macbeth become king. Like Williams, Lady Macbeth needed to step outside the perception of traditional feminine qualities and expectations so that this wouldn't hold her back in achieving victory. So weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid on it. This line was said to Macbeth by one of the two murderers in the play. The murderer expressed a desperate feeling of being worn out by bad luck and a willingness to take a huge risk, even if it meant death, just to change his fortune. This desperation made the murderer very open to excusing and participating in violence. This was a chance to improve the murderer's life, even if it meant a violent outcome of murdering Banquo. Tonya Harding was an elite American figure skater who competed in the 1992 and 1994 Olympics. Harding had a tough childhood and a difficult adult life, and wanted to succeed in skating no matter what. Unfortunately, this led to her famously being involved in the 1994 scandal involving Nancy Kerrigan, which saw Kerrigan being violently attacked and injured by associates of Harding. The murderer's statement from Macbeth clearly demonstrated a mindset of desperation and risk-taking. This is similar to Harding's situation at the time of the violent attack against Kerrigan. Whether or not Harding had coordinated the attack, her association with it showed her willingness to gamble everything, including her reputation and her future, to come out on top at the 1994 Olympics, which she ultimately didn't, by the way. At the start of the play, Macbeth is portrayed as a noble and loyal Scottish warrior. His loyalty even earned him the title of Thane of Cawdor by King Duncan. However, Macbeth's loyalty is set off course by his ambitions and motivations. This led Macbeth to betraying King Duncan in the worst way possible, by murdering him. This betrayal ends up causing Macbeth's own downfall and fits with the overall tragedy of Shakespeare's play. Ben Jonson was a loyal and dedicated Canadian sprinter. He was committed to his training and excellence, and as a childhood immigrant to Canada, Jonson was loyal to the country where he had been able to grow into an Olympic athlete. At the 1988 Seoul Olympics, Jonson won the gold medal in the 100-meter sprint with a world record, but was disqualified 3 days later after testing positive for steroids. Jonson had been celebrated as a national hero, and his fall from grace shocked Canadians. Like Macbeth, Ben Jonson's downfall was its own tragedy. His legacy as a track legend was overshadowed by his betrayals. Guilt can take many forms. Among other types, people can feel moral guilt, can experience survivor's guilt, or can be found legally or socially guilty. In the case of Macduff, he clearly experienced survivor's guilt. After learning of the death of his family by Macbeth, Macduff expressed his grief and sense of responsibility by saying, "Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls." Macduff felt extreme guilt for surviving the massacre of his family and felt that he should have been there to protect them. In a different set of circumstances and forms of guilt, in 2007, former Olympic runner Marion Jones pleaded guilty to lying to federal agents about using performance-enhancing drugs. She was found legally guilty and even had to serve a prison term. As you can see from the video I uploaded here in my presentation, she faced public disapproval and was also socially found guilty in the court of public opinion for letting down the sports community and her fans. While Macduff and Marion Jones experienced guilt in different ways, in both cases their guilt led to impactful endings, Macduff's triumphant end and Marion Jones's disgraceful one.
Time. We learned tonight Marion Jones has gone to prison. She reported today to a federal prison in Fort Worth, Texas, to begin serving her 6-month sentence. Jones was sentenced in January for lying to investigators about steroid use. Notably, she is the first professional athlete to go to jail in a steroid case. She was convicted of lying to investigators.
Macbeth and Lance Armstrong are connected by the theme of power and corruption. Both were ambitious and worked hard to gain power, but once they had it, they became corrupted and made unethical choices. As Macbeth continued to gain more power, he made terrible choices. Starting with the corrupt killing of King Duncan, Macbeth became paranoid and even more cruel. Lance Armstrong was an elite cyclist who gained fame as a Tour de France athlete and as an Olympic competitor. Armstrong's success gained him power within the cycling community, among sponsors, and with the media. Using his powerful influence, Armstrong corruptly lied for years about using performance-enhancing drugs to help him win. He helped cover up a drug doping scandal, keeping people quiet and making anyone who told the truth look bad. In the play Macbeth, Macbeth himself illustrated what happens when people want power too badly. They can forget about what is right and wrong and can destroy themselves, their reputations, and the people around them. In a real-life Olympian example, Lance Armstrong did the same. And here's where we wrap it up. Shakespeare's play, Macbeth, met 7 Olympians. Did you see the connections?